Hey guys, a couple of weeks ago I made a video called Should I Quit YouTube? And I said I'd address everything again in a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks, so I figured now's a good time to talk about it. So if you haven't watched the videos, essentially I talk about my concerns about the platform, the direction which my channel's taken, in particular, like a downwards trend, and whether or not it's worth continuing from this point, and whether or not people actually wanted me to continue. Well, since then, a bunch of you have spoken up, and I'm really happy that you did. It means a lot to me, so thank you for that. So I got like a ton of comments and views and stuff like that, but it's worth like, kind of talking through what actually happened. Now, it's interesting to me because a couple of the videos which I'm looking at the stats now that received the most kind of likes and comments and watch time still didn't get all that many views, which is quite strange because it seems that it's certainly historically for YouTube that seems to be a very important thing. But I've been doing some research and some digging around and stuff like that and kind of examining a bit more, and this has been quite helpful for being able to get certain data that wouldn't normally be able to get. And one of the things I was able to find is it certainly seems that sequential video uploads are the ones being targeted the most. So it seems like a very targeted hit for people that upload in sequence, and that would be majoritively like Let's Players and stuff like that. Which is why you might have seen some of your favourite Let's Players or video game YouTube channels and stuff like that receiving far less views than normal. Now, I kind of took this theory to other channels and stuff like that I watch, and it certainly seems that other large channels that continue to grow have caught on to this trend. And what they're doing is they're kind of titling and making each video out to be as if it was like a self-contained video, as opposed to one in like a series of uploads. And any like indication it is a series upload would be in the thumbnail as opposed to the actual title or description. So put in like a tag in your video like part 7 or like #7 or P7 or something like that. It would actually massively damage your potential views. Now what I can tell is this is done in a certain way. Essentially what happens is a new type of video comes out on your channel, say like my Subnautica one, for example. Let's bring up the stats on that specific one right now. Okay, so I bring out the new Subnautica video and it gets 150 views, right? Which isn't a great deal historically, but it's still an improvement over like previous videos, like the week before or the week before that. And then what would happen is that would be just a video on Subnautica. So your YouTube would go, okay, so this is new content. Let's push this out to this amount of people that I deem that I believe that they should watch, as opposed to just anybody who subscribes. I then bring out the second video, part 2, and what YouTube does is, okay, anybody who watched the first video from start to finish, liked it, subscribed, rang the bell, fucking prayed to the sun god, called down Cthulhu. I don't fucking know what the requirements are, but they seem to be it's very specific requirements. It would only push the video out to those very specific people as opposed to everyone else that had done before. Which led to the next video only having 30 views. Hey! Good job, YouTube. So essentially what you're having to do is, if you're a Let's Play, you're having to title everything individually. You're having to kind of push out content as if it is its own video, which means that I guess there has to be some work involved as to I don't know, because like a lot of my videos come in from the Fallout Shelter playthroughs, right? And what people will do is they'll watch one and then watch the next one, then watch the one after that, and watch the one after that. And that's all done because it's all sequenced. So part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. It makes it very easy to be able to follow the series as opposed to going part 1 to part 23, part 3, part 17. You know, you're jumping all over the place. So I guess playlists work for that, but you don't always go into the playlist to view. Sometimes you just kind of find a video and then carry on watching it down. Certainly I have, and I know a lot of other people have as well. So one kind of way around that is you can put the series number in the thumbnail, which is what I've done. But even then, YouTube it's kind of like a half and half. YouTube will scan the thumbnail, it will see the number in, and it will kind of still think it is a part playthrough. Does that make sense? Which is kind of like, it's always finding ways to try and break your soul, break your spirit. But I tried this theory out and it seemed to work quite well. It certainly was an improvement on views and stuff like that. And dislikes, a lot of dislikes, which is good. actually. It sounds bad, but it is good. It means that the video is being pushed to people that wouldn't necessarily see my video because of dislikes I wouldn't normally have. And it was like dislikes the moment I published it. So someone's obviously gone, oh, I don't want to see this, or a dislike. And then, but hopefully the algorithm can learn from that. And then, like, the next couple of times I do the same thing, then we can see some sort of improvement, hopefully. And yeah, on the note of dislikes, the moment I did that Should I Quit YouTube video, I seemed to lose, like, what was it, like 50 subscribers on, like, after publishing that video, which sounds bad, but it's kind of good, because I'm happy that if you're not interested in this content, that I prefer that you just kind of leave, because otherwise you are kind of damaging the channel anyway. So, like, good for them. If they're not interested, then there's no reason for them to stick around. No hard feelings. But on the note of whether or not I'm going to stay on YouTube, I think for the minute I'm going to continue making videos, despite kind of like everything that's happening, because I want to kind of see this through and see if this is something I can kind of grow from and learn from, and kind of develop that way. Because although I'm still not kind of like seeing what I used to see, and it is still kind of like a major downturn from what it used to be, I can potentially see some kind of way forward. And as long as it's not constantly putting out a video, things getting worse, putting out another video, things getting worse, but until it's eventually just like absolutely nothing, at least I can see some kind of way forward, and I think that's a positive thing. So for now, at least I'm going to do it like a weekly basis, just kind of like, we'll see how it goes every week, and then like, like trying new things. I'm going to probably get a bit more experimental. I hope you guys don't mind. Might revisit some like previous games that I've enjoyed playing and would like to see more of. Like, I want to play like Don't Starve again. I haven't played that in a while. I know there's been some new content and stuff on that as well. And what was the other one? Stonehalf as well. I know that they've actually released a multiplayer for Stonehalf. If you guys would be interested in that, I'd be super interested. And I've got a couple of copies because I backed it on Kickstarter, and one of the Kickstarter rewards was actually multiplayer, which is why they've eventually done it. Although it's been like, what, 4 years or something. It was ridiculous. So we've got 2 copies of the game. So I was thinking me and my partner could play it together, and I think that might be quite fun. What do you guys think? There is one other thing I wanted to talk about, and it's not a very pleasant thing to talk about, but in terms of ad revenue, I feel it is quite important to talk about, considering what I used to do with the ad revenue. Essentially, what would happen is at the end of the month, the money would come in. It's just about the threshold, and then I would use that then to buy like card packs, lunchbox openings and stuff like that, video games and stuff like that, and it would all kind of go towards the channel, all of it, in fact. And also hardware, because a little while ago I purchased some hardware for the channel to play video games and stuff like that, which is why I'm able to kind of like stream Fallout and stuff like that, and play some of the larger games while recording and stuff like that. Anyway, it's essentially what's happened is because I don't know if you've been following, YouTube has again. The revenue's been dropping, which means that I'm I'm not getting any more money in, because it's constantly under the threshold, which means that I'm unable to kind of buy new video games and stuff like that for the channel. So that's something to kind of consider, and I do appreciate Gyro for gifting me the copy of Subnautica that was able to kind of like push that content out as well, and it's a really fun game as well. So I've been enjoying playing that. But if you did want to help out, I'd certainly really appreciate it. I'm sure other people on the channel would as well. I've got a Patreon going for $1 a month, if that's something that you'd be willing to do. I mean, it will certainly help the channel, and it will fill in some of the gaps on this terrible ad revenue. But yeah, if for the people that do subscribe to the Patreon, everything goes into new games and new content and software licensing and like the hardware and stuff like that. So it's not like it's going to be wasted. But yeah, nice and short one. I keep bumping the stupid table. I need a new table. But yeah, anyway, thanks to everyone that supported. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can kind of carry on and keep building and stuff like that. It's like I said before, I don't need millions of views and stuff like that. But as long as I see something, as long as there's some sort of appreciation, some sort of growth, I'm more than happy to continue. So anyway, thanks for watching. And hopefully you've watched till the end. And if not, then shame on you. But not like you're watching anyway, so I can't scold you. Oh well. Anyway, bye!